change the sport of figure skating forever. It's a burden the skater from Stoneham, Massachusetts never sought. Haunted by memories of an unfulfilled amateur career. And now, an uncertain professional skater. Could a world professional title change Nancy Kerrigan? When you've won everything there is, what else is there for Kristi Yamaguchi? She's the reigning queen of figure skating, a position that allows for no mistakes. At age 25, the pure joy of Olympic victory may have become just a memory. How long can Kristi remain invincible? Yuka Sato, she won a world championship in her home country of Japan. But how many people know her name? In this event, no one has ever come close to this man. 6 times Brian Boitano has competed here. 6 times Brian Boitano has been victorious. Can he be beaten in his event? If Boitano is the professional, then Kurt Browning is the natural. The Canadian skater with so much unrealized potential. He has tasted nothing but tears at the Olympics. Last year, his debut as a professional here, absolute disappointment. Will this be the competition where Kurt Browning finally lives up to expectations? US Air Arena, Landover, Maryland, packed tonight for the oldest and most prestigious professional skating event. Hello, everyone. I'm Tom Hammond, and welcome to Landover. We're ready to bring you the finest field ever assembled for a professional skating championship. Tonight, we'll be bringing you the technical programs in each of the 4 disciplines. That is, ladies and men's singles, pairs, and dance. And then tomorrow night, the artistic programs as the competition concludes. Joined now by our expert commentator, Sandra Bezic. Sandra, you know, in the ladies' competition, we feature the first ever head-to-head meeting as professionals between Kristi Yamaguchi and Nancy Kerrigan. They've been friendly rivals over 10 years now, roommates at the '92 Olympics. And I guess Kristi was always sort of the senior skater, always expected to win. Tonight, a lot of pressure on both of them.
That's right, and Kristi is still expected to win. She has had such an outstanding competitive career that now every time she steps on the ice, she is expected to win, and that's a lot to live up to. For Nancy, her pressure is a different sort. For the past 2 years, she's received so much attention that it's difficult for her to set that aside and just skate.
To the technical program.
Tell you why a convicted arsonist isn't going to jail tonight.
He's won this event so after him. Brian Boitano, a 7th title here would be a record. Paul Wiley, world professional champion in 1993. That was the year Brian Boitano didn't compete. Kurt Browning, his debut here last year was a disappointing last place. Victor Petrenko, the only Olympic gold medalist to challenge Brian Boitano. 4 highly talented men's skaters, each with something to prove in his own way in this competition. Paul Wiley will skate first, the cum laude graduate from Harvard. And Kurt Browning, an enigma. Last year, didn't train hard, was embarrassed by finishing last in the World Professional Championships. Rededicated now to becoming a competitive professional skater as after the technical program. And as the men take the ice for their warm-up, the standings after the technical program in the pairs, Kovarakova and Novotny in first place over Betsky and Petrov. Well, in the men's competition, no question, the man to beat, the man who has ruled this event, the 6-time world professional champion, Brian Boitano. He'll have some challengers, though. Paul Wiley, who has blossomed as a professional skater. And the athletic Kurt Browning, a newly rededicated Kurt Browning. And the always expressive Victor Petrenko. It should be an outstanding men's competition. We'll get right to it when we return to Landover. Rededicated now to becoming a competitive professional skater, as this man has. Paul Wiley, as we said earlier, really has blossomed as a professional skater and always has such intricate, dramatic programs. His technical program, On the Waterfront. He plays the Marlon Brando character in the classic movie. It's about betrayal, but triumph over evil.
But in order to triumph here, Paul knows he has to land a triple axel.
And hand touchdown.
With this crowd, a mistake he can't afford, and he cannot afford another one. Triple Lutz.
Paul has been bothered with a groin pull. He's been icing it after practice the last 2 days. And perhaps that's affecting his performance. Paul Wiley, he called this program challenging and intricate. He said not too many more years that he will be able to skate to it, and he had his problems. Injury, hectic travel schedule, all taken into account. Not a typical Paul Wiley skate.
He made the same error on each of his triple jumps, the drop shoulder, right shoulder, watch this, and the triple axel, which he had to land. He opened the program with this jump, and that error set the technical tone of the program. But what I admire most about Paul is his integrity as a performer.
I just was like, did you see into the Lutz? I was like, well, I tripped almost getting around that corner. I thought I was going to get the axle. It was almost like it was higher than I thought.
Obviously, technically uncomfortable there. Again, on this triple Lutz, the dropped right shoulder. But as a performer, Paul is always passionate, always giving 150%. And that's what makes him so incredible.
With his coach, Mary Scott Bold, he looks at his scores.
Well, those are to be expected.
And he can still manage to smile, but inside, I know, being the competitive person he is, it does hurt. 48.1. He has skated better, and maybe we'll see it tomorrow night in the artistic program.
Now we can have some fun next.
And we'll look forward to having some fun. And we'll look forward to having some fun tomorrow night. Now, Brian Boitano, the favorite, the six-time world professional champion. He told me at 32, his physical skills haven't diminished at all. In fact, he says all around he's a better skater than he was 10 years ago. He trusts himself more, and he knows how to compete. He does know that.
Skating to Lincoln Portrait from Appalachian Spring. This is a version of his '94 Olympic performance. And Brian opens with his signature Tonneau triple Lutz. And now the critical triple axel. He's like an immovable mountain. I don't think he's ever made a mistake in the technical portion of this competition all the years he's competed here.
And what pressure that puts on everyone else.
And him.
In fact, he admitted he was nervous having won this event 6 times.
In the first minute and a half, he successfully completed 4 triples.
Waving to his parents who are here.
Another perfect performance.
He is a precision skating machine. He is just incredible. Brian Boitano, standing ovation.
No one has this kind of technical strength. No one has this kind of mental strength. His Tonneau Lutz, done to perfection, it drives the other guys crazy that he just never makes a mistake. And his triple axel,
And I was looking at him.
a breeze. Look at the height. He's as high as the boards.
So I came around again. Was that triple axel again? Lutz was really good.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Seeking the approval of his coach, Linda Lever, as if he needed it. These scores ought to give him some approval. 9.9 draws whistles and boos from the crowd. Perfect 10s.
9.9, 10.
Those 10s say it all.
Take that. 49.9 for Brian Boitano. And how would you like to have to follow that? Well, Victor Petrenko must do just that. And then Kurt Browning when we come back to Landover, Maryland. Yes. But before Kurt skates, we will see Victor Petrenko trying to follow that 49.9 performance, near perfect by Brian Boitano. But Victor, an Olympic gold medalist, 1992 world champion, trains in Connecticut now with his fellow Ukrainian Oksana Bayul.
The loss of his friend Sergei Grinkov has weighed heavily on Victor, and it's shown in his performances. Opening with his triple axel.
Beautifully done. After opening with a beautiful triple axel, how can he just seemingly lose concentration there?
That's something that Victor has historically always done. He's always been a hot and cold performer. And with that triple toe, he's back. has planned something that the other men do not, a second triple axel. And with this wind-up, here it is. Very close. Nice save.
Fairly typical Viktor Petrenko, a little uneven, but good overall.
An elegant skater and an elegant man. This performance so soon after the loss of his friend was a difficult one.
Always a favorite with the ladies.
Uh-huh.
Above all else, he is a performer. He almost embraces the crowd when he takes his bows.
Well, his favorite town in America is Las Vegas.
Speaking of embracing.
I wish I'd brought some flowers.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, the scores for Viktor Petrenko. 9.8. 9.8.
Well, good but not great scores for Viktor Petrenko, which means that Kurt Browning is the only man left to challenge Brian Boitano in the technical program.
9.8 and 9.8.
Viktor's total 49 will put him into second place behind Boitano.
And I would say that he has set his mind on this competition. He is very serious about skating a clean performance. A medley from Matt's entertainment. It's the tip of his hat to all the dancing men. But especially Gene Kelly. Triple, a relatively easy one, triple Falcao combination.
Bet Gene Kelly never tried this on ice.
Certainly not this next jump. It's the triple axel. Do or die.
Or something in between do or die, I'm not sure.
Well, he landed it, but with that extra little rotation on the ice, it's nowhere near as clean as Brian's or Viktor.
I'm exhausted just watching.
Well, almost perfect. He needed that triple axel, but boy, did he ever perform that program. The audience loved it, love him. Nobody reaches a crowd like Kurt when he's on.
And nobody plays the crowd much better than Kurt.
His parents, Dewey and Neva Browning from Caroline, Alberta.
Well, and appropriate enough, since Kurt put his heart into that program. Brian Boitano's lead, probably not challenged by Kurt Browning, but a good skate. It had to be flawless to catch Brian. Panel of 7 judges, 4 Canadians, 2 Americans, and 1 Russian. And they have given Kurt Browning these scores. Starting with a 10, I thought 10 was perfect.
I thought so too. Perfect is perfect, isn't it? But I think what the judges are trying to do is send a message out that there's more to technical skating than just jumps. They're looking for footwork and spin. But I disagree with the perfect mark for an imperfect skate.
Total 49.7 will not catch Brian Boitano, but it will apply some pressure as we head to tomorrow night's artistic program. After the technical program, these are the standings. Boitano first, Browning second, then Petrenko and Wiley. Coming up. Yuka's most celebrated victory was her World Championship in Tokyo, 1994. She was the hometown hero. Her joy was matched by Surya Bonalay's bitter displeasure with second place. Tonight, Yuka seeks a different world title and a chance to prove the first was no fluke. Ladies on the ice behind us, they'll be skating their technical program momentarily. And Sandra, I'm wondering, with all that's happened to Nancy Kerrigan over the last couple of years, can she have the proper competitive focus here to beat Kristi Yamaguchi?
It's difficult to say. Her coach, Mary Scottfold, said that they did find 2 weeks to train for this event. But Nancy's priorities have changed. She's a newlywed, and what she really wants to do is be at home.
Nancy will skate first. And here are the skaters we'll be seeing tonight, starting with Nancy Kerrigan, then Yuka Sato and Kristi Yamaguchi. It seems that Nancy Kerrigan has had a lot of difficulty making the transition. Coming up, Kristi Yamaguchi and the ladies competition technical program. It seems that Nancy Kerrigan has had a lot of difficulty making the transition from amateur to professional skating. She's stayed away from most of the competitive events, it seems. In fact, at one point was quoted as saying she didn't think the pro competitions were all that competitive, as you see her coaches, the Scottfolds.
Well, I think they're as competitive as you want them to be. All you have to do is look at Brian Boitano or Kristi Yamaguchi to know that. It takes an awful lot of nerve for Nancy to step on this ice knowing that she's only trained for 2 weeks.
This could be a huge step for her. She's never beaten Kristi Yamaguchi.
Opening with a triple-triple combination. Very nice.
Off to a good start.
Her next jump is the critical one, the triple Lutz.
Turn around and help you if you draw what you have within you.
A double. In this event, you can't get by with a double.
You must confess how you read. Yes or no.
The Starlight Express is no less than you, Rusty. I am you. I'm you and only you.
I am the starlight
Within you,
achieve.
just believe in yourself to see what before you. Stop the rain and turn the tide.
Things I didn't believe I could do. I am the starlight.
Within you,
I can see
not beg the world to turn around and help you if you draw what is
Reacting to a near slip. Nancy Kerrigan, and perhaps that lack of training shows it wasn't a particularly challenging technical program.
It was a respectable
Nancy
performance.
Kerrigan.
However, with only 3 triple jumps, that's going to keep her out of contention here. You've got to do more than that.
Certainly not good enough to challenge the likes of Kristi Yamaguchi, who has taken her professional programs to new heights. Very challenging.
It's frustrating to watch Nancy because she's such a talented skater. Watch this triple-triple combination that she does with such ease. And when you remember her Olympic performance and how spectacular that was, you know what magic she does have. But unfortunately,
Now
she's
the
lost the
scores
fire.
for Nancy Kerrigan. 9.6.
Ooh.
9.6.
Very low scores for Nancy Kerrigan.
Well, the judges expect more here.
9.6. 9.6. And 9.6.
That triple turn triple.
Total 48.1. Not a good score for Nancy Kerrigan. Next, we'll see Yuka Sato. Next, we'll see Yuka Sato. You can forget her 1994 World Championship accomplished in her home country of Japan. This is her second year now as a pro skater, and she has some new programs this year.
She had a disappointing year last year, her first year out, but it was a learning experience. This year, she's skating brilliantly. She's won every competition she's entered this year. She's got the fire. Her first triple is the triple Lutz, the jump Nancy double. Very solid.
Yuka spends a lot of time these days traveling between Japan and the United States. Speaks English very well. In fact, she taught herself from children's books and trained in Ottawa for several years, learning English even better. In her second year as a pro, Yuka looks much more polished, just floating over the ice.
Well, she's landed all her jumps, but what I like best about Yuka's skating is her speed and her footwork. Watch her fly.
Yuka Sato, wow, maybe we found a new force in professional skating. That was brilliant.
Well, that's what I call a perfect performance. 4 gorgeous triples, beautiful spins, edges, footwork. She has it all. And this is going to be extremely difficult to beat. The joy with which she skates is so captivating, but she also landed the jumps. This is her first triple, the triple Lutz. Off to a fine start, just perfect.
It was exciting.
But the footwork was exciting. She flies like no other lady.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, the scores.
Well, you said she was perfect. Let's see.
9.9.
Almost.
9.9. 9.8. 9.9. 10. 10.
There you go.
9.8.
Well, there's room for Christy, but not much.
49.5.
49.5, putting the pressure squarely on the defending champion, Kristi Yamaguchi. Her technical program when we return to Landover.
Christy has to live up to, and that kind of pressure, well, you can see it in that sigh.
Christy saying this program one of her favorites because it's one-on-one skating with classical elements, clean and pure.
Opening with her triple Lutz. Very nice. The music is The Seasons by Glazunov. Her next triple, the triple flip.
Christy says she enjoys the freedom of professional skating, doing what you want to do, rather than trying to please the judges all the time.
But she never lowers her standards, even in shows. Her first two triples, but with Yuka's performance, she cannot make a mistake and needs this next one, the triple loop.
Oh, that was a single, wasn't it?
Something we never see from Christy. That's devastating.
Christy skating now knowing that one mistake, singling that triple jump, probably makes it impossible to overcome Yuka Sato in the technical program.
I'm sure she's angry with herself. She very rarely makes a mistake.
As always, the crowd loves her, but Christy, having won this competition 2 of the past 3 years, probably is going to have to settle for second place in the technical program behind Yuka Sato.
Well, it's the pressures of a defending champion. The difference between a totally free performance like Yuka's and a tentative one like Christy's. Nice triple flip at the beginning of her program. But through the entire performance, she had to keep thinking, had to keep watching every step. There's the single loop instead of a triple. It's that kind of pressure that a champion has to constantly overcome, and it's not easy.
You see her angry. I think you put it right. You see her just drop the flowers and...
She sets high standards for herself.
Did you? Yeah. I was like thinking.
Well, that's what you said, Sandra. Thinking and thinking and thinking. And
Now,
Yuka Sato didn't have that sort of pressure.
Christy Yamaguchi.
Here are the scores.
9.8. 9.8. 9.9. 9.9.
couple of 9.9s.
9.8.
But those scores not good enough. She'll be in second place behind Yuka Sato.
9.8. The total score,
Marianne?
49.1.
Yuka Sato. Last year, some wondered if she even deserved to be invited to the World Professional Championships. But last night, Yuka took the lead after the technical program. This is the Yuka that won her first and only World Championship as a hero in her native Japan. Tonight, a more confident and mature Yuka Sato tries to take the biggest step of her young professional career. She has set the standard that other skaters seldom reach. Kristi Yamaguchi, quite simply, the best female skater in the world. But last night, rare Yamaguchi mistakes may wind up costing her this world title. Nancy Kerrigan, training for only a couple of weeks, critical of pro events, but out to prove she belongs in this company. The self-imposed pressure is intense. And what of Brian Boitano and his reign in Landover? He's never lost here. No man has won 7 titles. Will history be made tonight? Kurt Browning would like to make this his night. After a brilliant technical performance, will this be the night when Kurt Browning changes from a skater with often unfulfilled promise to a champion skater of the moment? Marianne?
0.1.
Thank you, Tom. Kristi, an uncharacteristic mistake. You popped that triple loop. What happened?
I think coming into the jump, I was just thinking about it too much, and I knew I had enough speed. I made sure of that, but at the last minute, my mind just kind of left it.
We always expect you to be flawless. Are you a little surprised that you did that?
I'm definitely surprised. I don't like doing that. I'd rather fall, I think, than pop a jump, but you know, that's how it goes.
What do you have to do in the artistic to win it again this year?
Well, my artistic number this year is quite different than any other year, so I just really want to go out, have fun, and try to get the crowd going.
We look forward to it. Thank you, Kristi.
Well, their technical program wasn't much fun, and Yuka Sato skating without pressure, brilliant in the technical program. Could an upset be brewing? Will she dethrone Kristi Yamaguchi? Artistic program coming up to decide the title tomorrow night. Since 1988, Brian Boitano has owned this event. Usually he coasts to victory. But this year, only 0.2 of a point are all that separate him from Kurt Browning and his record 7th victory. But don't count out a rejuvenated Kurt Browning. Will he finally realize his potential and dethrone the champ? Kristi Yamaguchi, usually flawless. Now, tomorrow night, she has a fight to get her title back. And Yuka Sato, simply splendid. Can she hold on under pressure? The answers tomorrow at 8.